On today's Fit to Eat, I'm going to grill lamb loin chops with lemon, oregano, and olive oil, serve it up with a seared eggplant, tomato, and red onion salad, and also julienne some bitter greens. Rebecca Turner will show you how to make foil dinners that are super easy to prepare and still healthy. And we'll visit Two Run Farm. It specializes in artisan meats. And my guest today is the Executive Director of the Mississippi Hospitality and Restaurant Association, Mike Cashion. Welcome back to Fit to Eat. I'm your host, Rob Stinson. Today, our special guest is Mike Cashion, the Executive Director for the Mississippi Hospitality and Restaurant Association. Mike has served on many boards, including the National Restaurant Association, several others, and I know your passion right now happens to be the Salvation Army.
It is, Rob. I had the occasion to get to see the Salvation Army firsthand when a tornado hit Clinton. And after watching what they do and how they do it, I knew that was going to be a charity that I needed to be involved in and commit some time to. So I'm proud to serve on their board.
And you know, I work with Sue Suter down on the Gulf Coast and have done several fundraisers with her. And you're right, absolutely top notch. Yeah. Well, I know you do even more than that. We got a whole lot of time, so we'll have fun. But we're going to actually be cooking some lamb loin chops today.
Looks great.
And I mean, I know you've dropped a lot of weight. We're going to get into talking a little bit about that. But this is a meal that there are absolutely no carbs, beautiful protein. And one of the things that's nice about this, these lamb loin chops come from a local farmer's market. We've got all these beautiful fresh ingredients where there's nothing processed.
Right.
And today I'm going to start off by seasoning this. And this is a little bit of a Greek twist that we're going to do on this entire meal. So we've got some beautiful fresh oregano. Smell that.
That's lovely.
Isn't that incredible?
That's great.
It's so much better than dry oregano. And I mean, you can find it or grow it, you know? I mean, I love growing fresh herbs. Now, we're going to put a little pepper on the lamb. Then we're going to actually take and squeeze some lemon. And what you're going to find in the Greek flavoring is a lot of lemon, a lot of onion, and a lot of oregano. And this fresh oregano, if you use dry oregano, can be really overpowering.
Now, is there a reason why you do the pepper first and then the lemon?
Yeah, it just gets into the meat a little bit better, you know, and it's really going to help get that flavor of the meat where we want it. Some of these will come off, you know, some of this oregano, but I want to keep that pepper in there so we've got that seasoning. And you notice, no salt.
Right.
Absolutely no salt. So it's really kind of a nice, healthier version. Now we're going to turn them and basically do the same thing. And this is so easy to do at home. You can do this ahead. If you had guests coming over to the house, you know, you wouldn't have to sit in the kitchen and have all this time spent. You could get this done and have these seasoned and ready just to go on your grill or in a pan like we're going to do. I like to do them in a pan because if somebody's cooking this at home and they don't have access to a charbroiler, here's a great way to show you how simple it is. All right, so a little bit of that oregano on each. We got plenty more on the other side. And I think with that, we're good. Now, there's a neat little twist that a friend of mine, I was in New Orleans, and they were building this magnificent Greek Orthodox temple. And he really cued me in on some of their little tricks that they would do. So obviously, a little light touch of olive oil, about a half a teaspoon, instead of overlading like a whole, you know, tablespoon, which is a lot of fat.
Right.
Then they threw in some actual peel of the lemon. And you can see I've got that pan really hot.
That's hot.
And we're going to let that lemon kind of sear right there with the meat.
The
and
smell.
Obviously, huh? Isn't that incredible?
Incredible.
You know, and a good hot pan is the key. Now let's check this on this side. We're going to turn that down just a little bit because what we're going to do is talk a little bit about the next item. Excuse me, just 1 second here. All right. And what we're going to do now is come back and look at this beautiful eggplant. Now, I've taken the liberty of kind of slicing this nice and flat. all we're going to do is a little pepper, okay? And we've got plenty actually on the side here. Just a little bit of pepper, and the reason being is when it goes in the pan, it'll help it to keep from sticking, and it gives it a little flavor. Not a lot, though. We're not trying to make it like a spicy thing.
Right.
All right, now the key, too, we're going to turn that temperature down. Okay, and I tell you one thing, you know, we're going to do a lot of different preparations. If anybody out there is interested in the recipe, go to mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat or join our Facebook page at MPB Fit-to-Eat. Easy, and I tell you what, the videos are there, which is really nice. If you would just grab that tongue for me right there.
Right here.
Thank you, sir. We're going to take a peek. Turn that over. I know, huh? Isn't that great? And you can see how nice and fresh it all is. And that lemon peel down in there gets the oil of the lemon in the meat. That's why they do that. I thought it was really a neat little trick. You know, and I find as I was cooking with an Italian chef, like I did in New Orleans, he had what he called his troca. The Greeks have their little tricks. But you know the old story? The Greeks taught the Italians how to cook, and the Italians in turn taught the French.
And there's always room for us to learn.
And that's right. And we're right down the line. So anyhow, all right, let's, where we're going to go with the next one is to actually use some zero fat spray. Good hot pan. And these will not take long. We don't want to actually cook the eggplant beyond the point where it gets too tender. So we're going to take these and just literally lay them flat in the pan. And they won't take long to cook. Now, that pan may be a little hot. I'm going to move it right in the middle. And they got a great shot of that. You can see that.
That looks...
Yeah, look at it on camera. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, they're just perfect. They're fresh. They're sliced simple. It's not hard to do. I think we're good. I don't think the temperature.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to overcook those, does it, Rob?
I tell you what. And I tell you, you know, we're talking about the Salvation Army. I think one of the things that's really neat, you mentioned how they jump in and help. I don't think many people realize how they help feed people after events and how they really help sustain life itself. Huh?
They were the first ones on the scene. They were the first ones on the scene and the last ones out. And just what they were able to do from supplying the food. And it's not just the food, but it's the emotional support that food brings. And there's a lesson to be learned there that when we eat with our friends and we eat with our families, it's not just about the physical sustenance. You know, you got the emotional sustenance as well, which is an important part of what they do. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I mean, it's just great support. Now, you see how light that is? Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I think what's so nice about that, and, you know, we can move that pan around. I may actually have you move that pan around a little bit while it's cooking. We're going to take and maybe turn this lamb one last time. And then I'm going to actually let these sit and rest because I'm actually going to try and keep the lamb kind of like a medium rare. Medium rare,
you know?
right.
So pretty like that. Where we're going to go, though, on the eggplant is actually bringing that back. And all we're going to do is take it out before, like I said, it gets too tender because it's going to become part of this magnificent Greek salad. And, you know, I think it's so unique. They blend tomatoes, onion, and cucumber as a typical salad. So all we're doing is kind of sprucing it up a little bit by adding in some fresh eggplant. And we have such a great supply here.
Oh, it is.
You know?
It is.
I mean, it really is a fun and easy product to use. You know, I found at Salute, the Italian restaurant down on the coast, eggplant became our most popular dish. And it's really kind of women generated. Mm-hmm. But guys now are eating more eggplant than ever.
It's so versatile.
Isn't it?
There's so many things you can do with eggplant.
And healthy.
Yeah.
You know, I know you've focused on your health, huh?
I have. Over the course of about the last year, I've dropped about 40 pounds.
Wow.
And it wasn't always easy.
I'm going to turn this off.
It wasn't always easy, but I'll guarantee you that if you focus on fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, you know, lean meat, lots of protein, and cut back a little bit on those carbs, those empty carbs. Doesn't hurt to get a little exercise too.
That's
you
right.
know, you have to
That's
have
right.
a little balance, and a person can manage their weight pretty well.
Absolutely. You know, it kind of fits in with what we're doing on the show because we've taken pretty much all the oils, all the fats, very, very controlled on the carbs that we do use, and then no salt.
Right.
really try to get the salt out of everybody's diet.
Yeah, it's interesting because as we eat a lot of vegetables, and folks say, well, don't you get bored with the vegetables? Well, you can season the vegetables, and I always found that the spicier, the more robust the flavor of the vegetables, the better it curbed my appetite. I don't know if there's science behind that or not.
There is a psychology, though, because it's that satisfying flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what people are searching for by adding too much salt.
Yeah.
And you don't get it.
No.
It's like trying to drink a soft drink and think you're going to quench your thirst.
Right, right.
Well, let's right now kind of focus a little bit on today's nutrition segment. Rebecca Turner shows us how to prepare foil dinners that are quick, easy, and always as good as what we serve on Fit to Eat. And we're going to talk more about that too. So come on back.
What came first, the chicken or the egg? As a registered dietitian, I don't really care. Both offer superior nutrition and are a versatile source of protein. Chicken is an affordable and healthy alternative to red meat. Here in the South, we refer to it as the gospel bird, but often enjoy it smothered, covered, and fried. All things, even fried chicken, in moderation. But for better health, it's best to really enjoy chicken roasted, broiled, grilled, or poached. Today, I will show you how to make a nutritious chicken dish that is kid-friendly and a family meal idea everyone will love. Full pack dinners are easy to make, they cool quickly, and they reduce your cleanup time. I mean, what more could you ask for? To get started, simply preheat the oven to 375 degrees and gather your ingredients for the full packets. This dinner contains some of my family's favorite foods: chicken, potatoes, and cheese. Begin with a full sheet approximately 12 by 12 inches on a working surface. You start by spooning in some of your family favorite barbecue sauce, and then placing a boneless, skinless chicken breast over the barbecue sauce, spreading just another good spoonful. Next, you're going to add potatoes and bell peppers and onions. You could also get creative and add other vegetables of choice like broccoli or whatever was in your kitchen. You know, choosing boiling sized potatoes and cutting them into half will always give you more fiber and minerals per bite because they have more skin to the surface area. Then you'll just sprinkle with a little salt. I like freshly ground pepper. And then you're gonna foil and make your packet. It's really easy. You just bring the two ends together, roll like so, making sure you get the ends so the contents of the packet doesn't leak out. There you go. And then you would repeat these steps with the remaining ingredients depending on the number of packets your family needs. Once you're done, place all your packets on a baking dish and bake for 35 minutes. Once they finish baking, you want to make sure you open the full packets carefully when you pull back the edges. It would be very hot. Here's where you're going to sprinkle on cheese on all the packets, pop them back into the oven for about 2 minutes until your cheese is nice and melted. You know, the best part, the cleanup is a cinch. Your family is surely to enjoy this easy meal that is fit to eat.
Foil dinners are something you can easily customize to suit your family's taste, so experiment with them. You can post your version on our Facebook page at MPB Fit to Eat. And I tell you what, Mike, I know you and I have been kidding around about your foil dinners or your one-pan dinners, huh?
We're a one-pan dinner family, no doubt about it. A little bit of zucchini, a little bit of squash, some bell pepper and onions, oregano. I love oregano.
Isn't that great, though?
Put it in the bottom of a baking pan, put your meat on top of it, stick it in the oven, and you're good to go.
I know, the only thing, you're right up my alley, except no garlic. Do you have
I love garlic, yeah.
So you got garlic in there,
yeah,
too, huh?
We change things around a little bit.
That's pretty much the vegetable that I use in Lookout and Salute.
Yeah.
I mean, that exact blend. That's so funny you say that.
We actually grew our own squash this year. This is
Really?
the first year. We have a little garden in our backyard, and I planted squash and had a bumper crop of it early on. So
Isn't that neat?
We ate a running ton of squash.
All right, well, we're going to have a little fun then, because you seemed a little hesitant on knife skills.
Well, I'm not a back of the house person,
No,
Rob.
I know. But, you know, I thought it'd be kind of neat to actually take and show people some of what we did to get the salad ready, because the salad is pretty much done other than blending it with all the ingredients that are here. So what we're going to do, half of a cucumber, and I mean, these are beautiful.
Gorgeous.
You know, fresh. Obviously, everything fresh, nothing frozen. All we do is slice it in half, okay, which I know you can do that.
I can do that.
This is what's so easy, though. You want to get the seeds out. So I just put a cup underneath and just a normal spoon, no fancy equipment. So anybody at home can do this without any problem. And when you do that, you're getting all of that outside, and you cord that cucumber perfectly. So let's just do 2 of them to have a little bit extra. Because, you know, the other issue is, we got to feed the staff out here, you know?
They're already drooling.
They're all eyeballing that lamb, and I got news for you guys. Mike's eating all the lamb.
Yeah,
you guys
there may be a little arm wrestling going on here.
You guys are going to have a little trouble with that. And then what we're going to do on these is kind of cut them on the bias so that you really can have, you'll have that one piece that doesn't quite match. But look how simple. You know, and isn't that pretty?
That's gorgeous.
I mean, just beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. All right, and now the biggest one that everybody's been asking me about. If you're going to put onion in a salad, the one thing you do not want is to get a big thick chunk. Nobody likes that. So the easiest way, I've cut one in half. This is a regular onion, just like I have out front, that I've cut in half and cut the ends off of, and that's simply what you've got. And then you just take a knife on an angle and moving your fingers back, let it be the guide. And look how nice and thin that is. You know? So, I mean, really, it doesn't take that much to do. So let's kind of move this out the way and actually get into making the salad and kind of blending it. So we've got a lot of great ingredients, okay? And I love how fresh and vibrant they are. Tomatoes.
Nothing like fresh, homegrown tomatoes.
Isn't that great? The thin sliced onions, a little bit more of that than the tomato. And you see how nice and thin those are. Cucumbers that we've done already, just like we just did. We're going to throw a little pinch of pepper in there for our seasoning. Again, it's the Greek flair, so another pinch of fresh oregano. Isn't that great?
Oh.
All right, and hey, listen, nobody's going to remember all this either. So mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat, or go to the Facebook page, and you can actually watch the videos of these too. And now, this is the twist. A little bit of mint, and I'll tell you why. Mint and lamb go hand in hand,
right.
And it didn't get cooked in with it, but this is being served with it. So you'll have this flavor, and that's just some beautiful, look at that.
Again, the aroma is unbelievable.
I mean, isn't that? I mean, nothing better to cleanse your palate than some fresh mint. Now, squeeze of our lemon and a little tiny half teaspoon of olive oil, and then we're going to add in our eggplant. We're going to toss this together, and I tell you what, you got a beautiful salad. So let's have a little bit of fun now and talk a little bit more about lamb. Charles Mumford has really made a name for himself in the New Orleans market for his artisan meats. And on this week's Down on the Farm segment, we visit him and actually go to 2 Run Farms and get to see exactly what he's doing. Incredible product.
Run Farm in Vaughan, Mississippi is a free-range cattle and sheep farm that has grown a reputation for producing hand-raised artisan meat that tastes better.
Basically what we do is we raise gourmet beef and lamb. Our main customers are New Orleans restaurants, some restaurants here in Mississippi as well, in Jackson, in Madison. And what sets our meat apart is that the animals that we harvest are locally grown and also free range. So it means that they're kept free roaming in a pasture. And so even if we give them extra grain, you know, we don't give them any antibiotics in their feed or hormones in their feed. And we make sure that they have a free roaming life, grazing grass as they're supposed to naturally. So you get actually a much richer flavor from free range meat. The flavor of the grass, the natural forage actually comes through in the flavor of the meat. You know, there are a lot of people that appreciate really good quality meat and support, you know, local farming, and those two things together, I think you can't have one without the other. You got to have, if you're going to have a local artisanal product, it's got to be better than the conventional option. You know, it's got to taste better, also be better for the land and better for the animals, but it really does have to taste better. I think down here we have a really, really rich culinary tradition, and now that people are matching that up with enthusiasm for locally grown, you know, sustainably raised food, that's a real like magic combination. And I think not just chefs, but you know, individual customers and just people who are dining out or cooking in their home or are interested in that, you know, sort of local foodways in a way that they've never been excited about that before. And that's a key like point of pride for all of us, is that we're actually working on the farm, raising animals, you know, and also cutting the meat, and also working with the chefs in the restaurant. I mean, that produces a sense of pride and a sense of accomplishment and ownership over our product that another meat company just doesn't have.
Free-range farming is really the best way to go, and you can look forward to seeing more of these on our Down on the Farm segments. And I tell you what, Mike, let me grab those collard greens from you. But we've been talking about farm to table in restaurants, huh?
You know, customers throughout the country are becoming more and more aware of the farm to table concepts, and they really, really are enjoying that locally grown product. The flavor profiles are so much different, they're so much better, and consumers are starting to get a little bit more sophisticated with that.
I tell you what, and it's a more discriminating diner than it ever was before.
It is, absolutely.
All right, more knife skills, all right? This is the scary one. All right, I love to julienne, and this, in the Greek world, they call it horta. Horta is really a kind of smothered, steamed green. Now, I don't like overcooking the greens.
Nope.
So you're gonna see that we don't cook these anywhere near the time frame they would. And we don't need all of that. That's probably plenty right there. I'm gonna move some of that down below. Then we're gonna take this and actually start again with that little slight bit, and look at that. I mean, that's a smidgen of olive oil, but to keep in namesake. And then I'm gonna spray, in addition to that, pan is really good and hot. Onion.
Onion.
Gotta have the onion in that Greek kind of flavoring. We're gonna go and throw in a little bit more of our fresh oregano. Also a little touch of black pepper. Again, the same kind of blend. Is this a kind of a uniformity in this?
It's great. Again, and the smell is
I know, isn't it amazing? And I love to kind of layer it like that, and I'll tell you why. The onions are gonna brown, and I love them to brown. We're not gonna let them burn, no, but they get that brown flavor, and it changes dramatically.
Caramelized a little bit.
Oh, it does. You get that kind of natural sweetness that the onion has. So now, to deglaze it, we're gonna put a little lemon, fresh lemon. Again, we've been talking about fresh product.
Right.
You notice every single thing we've had.
Yep.
We have not had anything that was processed in here.
And the flavors, again, the flavors are so much more intense with that fresh product, that fresh local product.
It's just so much better.
Entirely different.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we were talking a little bit about how the restaurants now have listings and kind of your program with the Restaurant Association.
A couple years ago, we did the Eat Healthy Mississippi campaign, where we worked with a national website to do some nutritional analysis on menu items. Had a great response both from the restaurants and from the consumers.
Yeah.
You could go on those sites and see exactly what the recipes were, see what the nutritional contents were. customers really responded well to that.
I tell you what, we did it at Lookout and Salute, and the response on those dishes was great, and I love being able to follow up.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, you can actually see where something was effective
That's right.
in doing that.
That's right.
You know?
And you don't have to have a lot of fat.
No,
You know,
absolutely not.
In order to have a great
Are
tasting
you
dish.
ready to see this put in action now?
I'm
Let's
ready
put
to
the
put
lamb.
that in my stomach is what I'm ready.
Wait a minute now. All right, a little bit of that lemon on top. All right. Then we're going to take the greens, and this is kind of fun. They slide right out.
And so easy.
Isn't that neat?
Just ridiculously
And now
easy.
in the center, that beautiful mint, onion, cucumber, and eggplant salad. So you've got all that magnificent color right there in the center.
You've got all three of your senses covered there. You've got smell, you've got sight, and I'm sure the flavor is going to be incredible.
It's such a good dish. And I think it's a different twist. You know, we want to keep things a little, little exciting, you know.
Right.
And honestly, you said it the best. All that kind of fresh herb flavor is satisfying, you know. So now, I guess if we want to really look at the nutritional value of this single serving, you'll see that it's under 400 calories. It doesn't even have quite 20 grams of carbs. The protein is sky high.
Out through.
Yeah, because of all the beef that's in there. And I tell you what, you can feel really great about serving a dish that's that healthy. You know, so I mean, I know you're focused on it. It's obvious. You're living proof, you know.
It works.
So, I mean, I've got to thank you, Mike, for coming in today.
Thank you for having me. It's been a joy.
Absolutely incredible. And I tell you, if you're interested in any of the recipes, visit the website, mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat, or join our Facebook page, MPB Fit-to-Eat. I'd like to thank you again, Mike. It's been such a pleasure. I'm your host, Rob Stinson, and eat well. Now, sorry, crew.
No, like that. No.